Hello, I am Fenil Mehta. In this video, I'll be talking about virtual reality. First of all, what is virtual reality? It is the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment. Like traditional user interfaces, VR places the user inside an experience. Instead of viewing a screen in front of them, users are immersed and able to interact with 3D worlds. By simulating as many senses as possible, such as vision, hearing, touch, even smell, the computer is transformed into a gatekeeper to this artificial world. The only limits to near-real VR experiences are the availability of content and cheap computing power. Let's move on. The history of virtual reality. In the 1950s, modern healing envisioned the theater experience which would excite the senses of all the audiences. Later, in 1961, the engineers at Philco Corporation developed the first head-mounted display, as shown in the figure. The basic principle of virtual reality is the VR system tracks the physical motions in the genuine world or the real world, and after this, a computer redraws the virtual world to reflect the tracked movements. The components of virtual reality, they are the reality engine, the head-mounted display, audio units, and gloves. There can be a lot more, but the basic set of components would be this. Let's see some types of virtual reality. Enhanced reality. It is the reality in which, suppose you are holding a camera in your hand and you can view the information about objects that the camera is seeing. This would be called enhanced reality. Desktop virtual reality. A simulated world is displayed on your computer screen, so the name desktop. QuickTime VR. It was a reality developed by Apple Incorporated but later discontinued because it wasn't so popular. Immersive virtual technology. In this reality, the user is completely immersed into the virtual world and he or she can't even describe or differentiate between the real and virtual world. Now let's see some applications of virtual reality. For example, military training. The soldiers can train themselves by using simulations of parachuting, wars, or even real-world scenarios. Business. This is one of the most important applications of virtual reality. Suppose you are having a meeting with your colleagues that are located in different parts of the world. You can use virtual reality to simulate them in your office. Medical. This is also one of the most important applications because students of medical science can actually train themselves by using simulations of surgery. Uh, they don't need to practice directly on patients, but they can use simulations to perform or train themselves. Education and training. As I described earlier, virtual reality can bring a big change in our education and training because students can uh, practice more, train themselves for real world scenarios instead of sitting at home. Retail. Um, the suppliers or sellers can simulate real world scenarios of their products, how they would look like in real life. Uh, some of the retailers in Europe, for example, IKEA, has already implemented virtual reality in their shops. They show the uh, plywoods or furniture to their buyers in simulations. Some advantages of virtual reality. It can help in training students. It can be used in lots of fields like medicine, law enforcement, architecture, aviation, etc. It can record how fast a patient is recovering and learning. Disadvantages. It is not yet so cost efficient. It is also not industry ready, but we are making a huge progress every day in virtual reality. It makes it hard to differentiate between the real and virtual worlds because once you start using virtual reality, uh, you would get so addicted to it that you won't be able to describe what real world is. The conclusion: virtual reality is new and is emerging fast, but we are still on the first stages of developing it. It is becoming cheaper as time passes, and soon even the average economy will get access to it and will be able to buy it. In fact, GeoFiber has already started selling their own virtual reality, augmented reality sets for very cheap prices. We can expect to see many new innovations for both the future and the fundamental way of looking at things. These are the sources I used. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.